Okay, so I'm going to show you how I cut my fabric, and my dogs are probably going to get in the way because they want to help. So this is Oscar. We'll put him over here. This is, I think, a yard I got off of Etsy. So what you want to do to make it easy cutting, you have your straight edge here. And a yard, I usually get about 10 to 12 masks out of, depending on how long it is, or tall, I guess, before they cut the yard. All right, this is Tucker. Here, Bubby, over here. Okay, so we're gonna fold our straight edge against itself, because we know that this is this is a straight edge. Okay. So what I like to do is fold it once and then fold it again. So we have a nice, neat, straight edge here. Now when I'll send the link to the video I used on YouTube, but I did make a little bit of alterations to it. So this seems to be the easiest way to kind of cut bulk, and you're not having to cut them one at a time. So we have our straight edge here, and then I bring it up again and make it real tiny. So this is my Fiskars, I don't know, quilting board, I guess. And it comes with a little rotary knife. I've had this for years. It's definitely worth the purchase if you're going to be making a lot, because you can just slice it like a pizza instead of cutting each individual piece out with scissors, and you get nice straight edges. And it comes with our ruler here. So this is going to be our length. I cut mine in 15 by 7.5 inch dimensions. Essentially, you're going to be cutting it and folding it in half. So I have been making smaller ones for teenagers, kid ones. I'll make them 10 inches by 5 inches, sometimes 6 inches by 12 inches. I honestly just guess at the length. Okay, baby. This is going to be a problem. All right, so we line it up here. Our straight edge is against our 90-degree angle. And Tucker. Okay. And then we put our straight edge at the bottom here, so we know we have a perfect 90-degree angle. So this is going to be my length of 15 inches. So I'm going to put my ruler here. Now you have a lot of layers. So if you're using one of these rotary knives, you really want to press hard on your ruler and press hard on your fabric. Gotta open it first. See, it didn't go through the last layer, so you just have to work it. All right, so I would do that process again with the rest of this, 15. And usually if you fold it this way, you can get 3 pieces, 15, 15, and 15. So I'm just gonna put this aside. Now this, we're gonna be cutting in 7.5s. So I'll usually line up my edges here, try to make it as even as I can, and make me a straight edge on this side. So put my 90-degree angle at the bottom, and you want to make this edge straight. So see my fabric here cut short because they cut it, I mean, usually it is cut a little bit crooked, that's why we use this side. So line up your shorter side with your edge there. And this is my trash. So now we have a straight edge, and we're gonna cut 7.5. Now, if I was doing this whole piece at one time, I would have 3 pieces like this, and then I would stack them on top of each other so I could get it done 3 times as fast. Because when you're cutting multiple patterns, the cutting part can take a long time. So I would just take, say this was cut, I know it's not, I would just take this and line it up here against this straight edge and be cutting 7.5. So it gets done faster, but I'm only gonna do 1 for right now. The tedious part is the cutting. So we're gonna mark 7.5 as Tucker gets in our way again. And what's easy about this board is I can just pick this up and go to 15, because that's 7.5. Smooth this out. And then 22.5. And this took lots of practice to get this process down. Sometimes it doesn't get all the way through. You have to, hello, Oscar. Get these last little pieces. That's when putting pressure on it really helps. So essentially this is our piece. We're gonna fold it over like this and so, and pretty much, if you can imagine, it would kind of turn out like this. So we're gonna put these aside. And I do want to show you, I'm going to do that one later, what I do with the scraps. So here we're going to do another 7.5, because remember this is our length. .90-degree angle. Sometimes you just have to go back through. My blade is probably getting a little bit dull too. The dogs are in the way. So this is one of the alterations I made to the video I sent. So essentially this is our finished product. Okay. They have you buying, I forget what it's called, some kind of runner's tape, fabric. It comes in a small package. I found that to be really expensive and hard to work with. So I've been using this scrap piece I have left over and making my own. See, I have this box here. These are going to be 5 inches by 2 inches. And what will happen is when we go to sew it, which you'll see, this will just wrap around and create this nice flushed finish on the end of the mask. So if Tucker will allow me, And again, if I had like 5 of these pieces, I'd stack them up on each other to make this a lot quicker. So let's see how this is almost at 5 inches, so I'm going to go ahead and use this length. It doesn't need to be exactly because there's some space to work with. So what I'm going to do is keep this the 4 3/4 and then cut this into 2 inch. So let's see, 10, 16, 14. Scooch. 12, 10. So essentially, the only waste that we have with our yard of fabric is this. And that's pretty good. So by using that kind of technique to cut them, I usually get, like I said, 10 to 12 of these and enough of these. And then if you don't have enough of these, you can always cut these, because remember we have 15 inches, so we can do 5, 10, 15, and then cut our 2, 4, 6. And that's that process.